And we're live. Hey everybody, welcome to Blocktalk. I'm Freddie, and Alex Sturkey is in another location, top secret, with a really good friend of his, who we're going to introduce in one moment. And but first, I'm going to say a quick word about Quadriga CX, our sponsor, best trading platform for Bitcoin in Canada right now. Their volume today was around 225 coins. Their last trade was around $303. The low today was around $300 Canadian, and the high was around 303.88 today. So, we're trading over 300, which is good. As everybody knows, we had a very, very good week with Bitcoin. So, yeah, I'm Freddie, and Sturkey, if you want to pipe in and say hello to everybody and introduce our guests, that'd be great.
Sure, thanks, Freddie. Yeah, it was a bit of a special trip this week. I'm back in Ontario.
Yeah. No, Ontario is a good name for it.
Yeah. So yeah, we decided to take advantage of the situation since we had Not So Fast on the show before. We got him again, and yeah, we did a little bit of a tour of a mining facility that may or may not be his.
May or may not. Plausible deniability.
And yeah, it's been a great time. So it's great to see the hardware behind it. So look for that, I guess, in the future. I'm going to be doing a couple edits, and maybe by next show we'll have that ready. So also in the room here, we got a couple other guests. Another returning favorite, Crypto Gambler from LA.
Hey guys.
Great to have you on here again. And then we also have one of our developer guests now is Alex Jones. Alex, please tell us about yourself. So, Alex, how long have you been in Bitcoin and working on projects?
I'm getting a weird loop with mine. Wait a second.
Oh, so we lost Alex for a moment. He's going to probably just try again. But I guess we'll kind of get into a couple quick news stories here. I love that you brought up Quadriga, our sponsor, because we're probably going to see some more volume with the Canadian Bitcoin exchange, since today the Canadian government announced there will be no regulation on Bitcoin to stifle innovation. So big plus for that. We're all very happy here in the Great White North.
Woo-woo.
Okay, so we got Alex back. Let's see how his connection is now. Alex.
Actually, a little embarrassing. I had 2 tabs of the YouTube stream of this open, so that threw me off.
Nice.
But yeah, doing all right.
So Alex, you are a developer for Next, is that correct, or you work on the project?
I've done some UI for them, as well as developed some of my own applications and just around that space.
Very cool. So how long have you been in Bitcoin? Like, when did you buy your first Bitcoin?
I think mid-2013-ish.
That was a pretty good time to get in. Yeah.
Yeah, I just kept going up, and then it kept going down.
So the reason I got you guys all in this room here together is I really wanted to spotlight, I guess, some more of consumer-level trading, because, like, Gambler, Not So Fast, and myself, we all do trading on exchanges and whatnot, but there are lots of other options available. But we're basically gone with the more traditional model. But now with things like Shapeshift.io releasing their app for any consumer to trade without an exchange, we're seeing a lot of user ease coming into the space. And then the other option, I guess, is going more of a Bitcoin or crypto purist route with stuff like Next, where you have a decentralized exchange. So yeah, I'd love to hear some more opinions from you guys on the whole nature of Next and similar decentralized exchanges.
Yeah, Shapeshift is a really good service. I've used it before. It's very quick. And around NXT we have multi-gateway. It's supposed to be like the Shapeshift of NXT. So you can how do I explain this? There's a multi-gateway asset on the NXT asset exchange that's exchanged for the actual Bitcoin, and then the Bitcoin is represented on the NXT chain as MGW Bitcoin. So then you can transfer onto NXT, and you can use that as a full exchange.
Hey Alex, can you hear me okay? Alex?
Yeah, no, I just queued up and muted. Sorry. You can refer to me as Sturk or Sturkey, just so we don't avoid confusion with Alex Jones.
That's why I was saying Alex Jones. Alex Jones, do you have any extra tabs open right now that might have any media connected to the show? Because we're getting a major echo out of you.
All right, let's see. Close all the other
all
tabs.
tabs if you can, or anything around you, and because you've got the right setup, you got a good mic, you got your headphones on, we should be pretty solid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I got my
Actually,
snowball out, so.
You're better now, actually. Okay.
Huh.
Yeah,
Tabs.
you're good now. Whatever you did, keep doing it.
Yeah, I think I blame Slack.
Oh
I
yeah.
have a tab open.
Very good. Okay, cool, awesome. So, whatever you were saying, Alex, just a second ago, Alex Jones, please say it again because it was very echoey for a bit.
Okay. So basically, NXT has asset exchange on top of the currency itself. So it allows the exchange to be decentralized in and of itself, and you can make those trades. And I've actually made, using the Light wallet that I developed, I've made the J exchange. And it's a front end for that, so you can easily make those trades. We get pretty decent volume on it at this time.
Can you give us a figure, I guess, on average, like maybe daily or weekly volume?
Weekly, I think we probably get around 5 million NXT, so it's about, I don't know, $50,000, $100,000 a week.
That's crazy. Gambler, so how much of that is yours?
Not nearly as much as I would like. Trust me, I'm trying to grow that pot as big as I can. But I've been a player next for many months, and I just the longer I'm around, the longer I watch the development, the longer I'm in the Slack, the bigger fan I become. These guys just know what they're doing.
Yeah, no, I played around with NXT after you gave me some, and I definitely enjoy it further. It is a very cool concept, and it does seem like there's validity to the whole thing and getting paid in dividends and whatnot, very similar to a traditional stock market.
It seems the framework's amazing, and the only reason that I didn't get into it sooner is because I was so just raging against myself that I didn't get in at the very beginning, but that's how you go.
I think everyone's in that boat, and I mean, maybe just the viewer give a little background on what Next is and how it started. To give I hear the echo. Yeah, I think you muted it, so we're good. Just to give a really quick background, and Alex Jones, please expand or elaborate, but it started as an IPO on Bitcoin Talk, I think, back in late 2013, and something like 70 people were allowed to contribute up to 1 Bitcoin each, and they each got a relative share of 1 billion next. And if you do the math on that, I did it once. I don't remember exactly what it worked out to, but it's somewhere below 1,000, well below 1,000 sat, maybe even below 100 sat, that each of these people got their next at. So that's why a lot of people call it a scam coin or a BS coin, is because of that initial distribution. That, however, has since changed dramatically over the last year and a half plus. The distribution is far, far better than it ever was before. And it continues to improve, but the development is what attracts you to it. I mean, anybody that comes from a Bitcoin clone, or the world of alts where they're all clone of the XT wallets with some fancier graphics perhaps, you download the Next wallet, somebody gives you some Next, and you're immediately blown away by it. You start to look into it more, you see the asset exchange, you start to realize that these are real companies. It's basically a stock market, or it has the potential to become one someday. And it just kind of goes from there. You just get involved.
Yeah, we have great developers. Jean-Luc always puts out his releases like weekly. Getting a lot done in that. And yeah, to elaborate on what he said, there was I think about 100 people started in the original thing in 2013, and about 70 people claimed that. And the highest anyone got was about 50 million NXT for 1 Bitcoin, which is a pretty good price. I came in around I think it was late 2014 or 2013, sorry. So I bought it at like 800 satoshis, and now it's about 5,000. So I'm feeling pretty good. He's got his cats up there.
That's pretty fucking cool, dude. That's really cool, actually. Hey, Sturkey. Sturkey, what the fuck you doing, dog? Let's get you going. Can't hear you. You're unmuted.
There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hey, Freddie. Yeah, no, I'm trying to manually mute here like a dummy. So I'm gonna send you some beer right now because I feel like you've had a hard day, and yeah, I'm gonna send it to our Bitcoin pop machine.
Check this out, guys. You're gonna love this.
Let's see how fast this is. All right, I'm clicking send right now. Pushing the transaction.
Oh!
Wow.
That was quick.
That's really cool.
So, if you guys like the Bitcoin pop machine, that's just one of the many things we're developing and then also building more of for the decentral space. We were talking earlier on the Slack about maybe doing like a washroom where if you put the seat down and you get tipped, and then you can use that to buy toilet paper or random shit like that. Just to improve bathroom habits all around the world, maybe solving the greater good of problems. But I'm glad that the pop machine's working really well, and we're continuing to improve it. So, Freddie, if you want to share my screen, I got the QR code there for anyone who wants to buy us.
Oh God.
Buy us some pop.
Where's your screen?
That's the QR code. Yeah.
I can't see it.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I must have dropped out. Okay.
Out.
Well, scratch that. Anyways, so just take a moment, I guess, to talk about some other people that help out our space. So Coinergy is a potential sponsor. They mentioned us earlier on their show on Wednesday. Brian Beamish did a show with them, a good friend of the show. And we'd love to give them some more viewership, too, because they have a pretty good show where they talk a lot more about technicals. We were watching it yesterday, and it seems like they're a lot more technical expertise, but maybe we can kind of work out a partnership with them and do more of fundamentals. But it's great having guys like Not So Fast here who are really in on the ground level.
Yeah, we like the fundamental stuff, I guess. Me and Gamble over there are looking always like scrounging for value, like value vulturing. It's kind of what we do. I like the technical aspect of charting too, but I feel like it's got to have so much more volume and historical price action that you can look up, and there's I mean, Coinergy's helping a lot with developing historical charts with deep information. But yeah, I don't know if we're there I don't know if we're good for TA yet in terms of like there are so many little risks. Like a dev cannot post in a shitcoins thread for 12 hours and then that can be a price shock. So yeah, technical analysis doesn't quite help you with that. You have to have a certain ear to the ground also in order for your TA to work out properly. That with a grain of salt too, because TA still does work for a lot of trades, and I see it. So
yeah,
back in there, Sturkey?
Yeah, no, I got the patch in. Sorry, Gamble, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Sorry.
Yeah, we love your TA that you do.
I don't do the TA. That's not true. I do TA, but I would never share it with anybody because I don't want to get laughed at. The reality, I mean, Not So Fast is exactly right. For people to just look at charts and make decisions on these things, I think is crazy. And I was talking about this earlier today with a group of people. There's just too much that can go wrong. Too many scam devs out there. These things are so low market cap with so crappy volume. You have to do both. You have to look at fundamentals, and then you look at the chart to figure out where to place your orders.
It is a shame, like talking with good friends back home here about the show that we're doing now. They're like, well, it seems like you guys are just pumping up whatever you think you're bought into, but we definitely see there are some valid projects in the space here.
Yeah, like there are certain things that I own a pittance of right now, and I would like to get more, but I'll talk about the stuff that I believe in, and some of it I have a ton of, and some of it I just want more of. Straight up, like I don't have a lot of NXT next. Like, I definitely want more, but I have not amassed, a significant bag that I could be said to be pumping with the intention of just creating a bid side of the order book to just completely put in my own pocket, and heaven help whatever comes after that. It's not really like there are certain low volume things that is a strategy, and everybody who's shilling is accused of doing it for that express purpose, and it's not always the case, though it often can be. I don't know. I guess you just have to create a personal track record of integrity or something. I don't know how it works.
That's exactly it. And if you look at the Coinage show yesterday, where Brian talked about Geo, did you see? I think it was yesterday. Did you see what Geo did today? Or actually, it was the day before yesterday. Did you see what Geo did? I mean, it went up 75%, just because he was talking about it.
It had a pretty wicked spike there. It was lucky because it had been coming to a boiling point. Like, you could see, like, a lot of people talking about it and tweeting about it, and then just the volume and price action changing a lot. Bid side of the book thickening up a lot, and I did a tiny little smash of it and took it almost to 10K from 8.5. Just because I needed to. I thought, okay, shit, I got to get into this, and now it's sort of settling at a new baseline of 10. It looks like, and I don't know. I think it's got to run to 22 at least for the short term. I mean, you guys all turned me on to that, actually. Like, I wasn't really looking at it until one of our other decentral hosted talks, and I looked into it and I thought, it's going to take so much work for them to make this work at all. But they've been putting in that work, and I was pleasantly surprised at how well implemented some things that they're doing actually seem to be. And it's one of those things, like, you just sit on it for a while, let them toil away, and as they start releasing use cases, I mean, it's the kind of thing. You can't help but sit for 5 minutes and just come up with use case after use case for this kind of thing. It's pretty incredible. Like, for tracking service people, deliveries, anything like that. Put it on drones and the payment system. If the drone has to enter a certain area to have completed the delivery and made the drop. Like, oh man, it boggles the mind how useful this could be.
Yeah, I'm loving the commenting blockchains right now. So, Freddie, I actually just pulled up the chart for Geo, and you can definitely see some action in the last week after Brian mentioned it, because now his minions are probably buying it up right now. Let's see here. Maybe the 4-hour chart, we can get a better scope of this rise that we just had. So this last one might actually be... yeah, it's been moving around good. Here, I got to get the 1 day up. Then we can really get a good view of the long term. So you can see we've had good moves, and I'm betting this last little bump here. No, actually, I think it was a little later on here. This is where, it got mentioned on our last, I guess it was our first Blocktalk episode. We had Gambler on, and he was a little upset we were talking about it because it was messing up his orders.
Which, by the way, I'm upset again because we shouldn't be talking about this. I sold it all into Brian's bump. I'm trying to buy it back. That was not me, by the way. No, it was a no news issue. I mean, I knew the price was going to come back down. It's a mined coin. It's not like these IPO coins, like Gambit, which is a great coin. I own some of that too. It's an IPO coin. There's never any supply hitting on the market unless somebody decides to sell. Well, Geo's a mined coin, so there's always miners mining it and dumping it into buys, and that's why that wall that Brian mentioned is there, is because people say, well, I think around this price is a good price to pick it up. It fluctuates a little bit. It goes up and down, but there's people catching those miner dumps, and when you have a no news bump like happened the other day, it's going to come back down because the miners are still selling. They don't care. So I took advantage of Brian's mention. and sold. I didn't sell it all. I sold half of it. But I'm trying to, and it looks like they're. Sorry.
I guess one last thing I want to ask Alex in case he has to get out of here. We talked earlier about Shapeshift.io, and they kind of, I guess, validate a lot of crypto by posting on their site now. So I see they have about 40 coins here just looking on their webpage. Alex, what do you think about, I guess, the coins that are being added? Like, do you think they should just add everything, or...
I don't actually know that much about all these miscellaneous altcoins. I basically just do NXT. Because once you start, you'll know once you get a decent amount of NXT that you start buying assets, and then you keep getting NXT, and you keep getting assets, and you can never, like, hold on to any NXT. So that kind of consumes it, so you switch from alts just to assets. And I've made that swap, so I'm at a loss with all these new altcoins. So I don't really think they're too necessary, but they could be. They could be something.
So I see Next is actually on Shapeshift.io, so that's good news to hear. Is there a particular asset platform that you recommend to use with NXT?
For trading assets, I would use. You can use my own, which it uses the J framework, so that you can. Let's see, you can request your transactions from the web page, and then you have a separate application that's either on your phone or your computer to carry out those transactions. So it's like a web wallet that is mixed with a light wallet, and that's at jnxt.org/jx, and it has a bunch of nice charts and everything for buying assets.
Gambler, what do you use for buying Next assets?
You know, I'm familiar with the J Wallet. I was actually going to ask if maybe he felt like doing a quick demo. I don't know if we have time for that, Sturkey. I'll let you decide. But I use the main Next wallet. I'm looking forward to the agents' ability. What they're doing now with SuperNet is they're designing a framework to allow any developer to create plugins that'll plug into like the NRS framework and the SuperNet wallets, so that I don't know, the sky's the limit. We should probably talk about Instant Dex too, which should be coming out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll let Alex talk about that. But it's basically, you know, as the AE is a way to trade decentralized, Instant Dex is going to take that to a whole new level and allow you to trade far more than just Next assets, but also to trade, hopefully, any and every shitcoin in the world eventually.
Yeah. So Instant Dex is basically, it takes the NXT asset exchange and it swaps out. It uses the multi-gateway as well, which I explained earlier. So you have these currencies, you have the shitcoins on NXT's blockchain, and you can change from one asset to another asset instantly. So it pretty much replaces any type of exchange and makes it so you can exchange any currency to any other currency within NXT.
It's all pretty amazing what's going on in the NXT space. I wish I could remember exactly where I read it, but as the exchange grows and there's some more kind of tactical, like chart-based trading and volume-based trading, as like sort of trade volume begins to flow, I read something about a decentralized exchange being really, really easy to front-run orders that you see coming in based on the slow speed at which it takes to achieve consensus in a decentralized network. Have you heard anything about that or given thought to that thus far? Of how it's
Actually,
I know for the future, but like I was wondering if I'm sure you guys have thought of it, but.
Yeah, I've actually written bot to front-run orders before, but I never used it because it'd probably break pretty bad. But before on NXT, there was
white hat.
It would break my wallet. It wouldn't break the network. But basically, there used to be the NXT AE used to take trades based on it would order the transaction ID. So if you had a lower transaction ID, it would go first. So if you did a bunch of calculations to get the lowest ID possible, and then you put in your order, you would always go before someone else. So you could always front run orders that you see before the block gets confirmed. But now we changed it so the average person orders it by the time that trades come in. So it's less of a chance, but if the person creating the block decides, they can put their order in front.
Okay, so it's way harder to do, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure of the technicals, but that puts me at ease, definitely.
I just want to take a moment here to do a shout out to, I guess, our unofficial sponsor. One of my good friends, Scott Beecham, let me borrow his brand new car to move around while I'm here. So we thank him greatly, and we'll probably hook him up with a $5 voucher for Quadriga, just for the time that he spent letting me drive his nice new car. And I swear that ding will it will buff out. It's not an issue at all. Just don't even worry about it. So I wonder, is it possible for our other unofficial sponsor, Coinigy, to pick up on this data that's going on in Next and then plug it into their service?
What I think what would happen is through Instant Dex, James has been going around and taking all of the data from other exchanges and putting it into Instant Dex. So not only do you have the asset pairs of within NXT, but you also have all of the other exchanges. So you can go through the APIs of different exchanges to find the best price. And there's been a lot of work towards that.
I'm loving a little bit of the centralization of doing market buys and stuff. I think that'll be interesting just for doing developing your own bot is that much easier if you only have to use one API.
Well,
yeah, you can bring it all together.
And it's not just that either. I mean, first of all, Instant Dex is going to charge fees. They're very reasonable, and people who own the asset will get those fees distributed back to them as dividends. So the more volume Instant Dex gets, the more money people that hold the asset will receive. And akin to that, there's bot assets as well. So there's one called TradeBots that gets 30% of the Instant Dex revenue off the top, plus any revenue that people will get from purchasing or renting bots. Skynet's another one. The Skynet's really amazing. I don't even know enough to talk about it intelligently, but these guys are building an entire API on the blockchain that covers all crypto, every shitcoin that's ever existed, every close, every price. I don't know about every trade, but basically a ton of data for a ton of different coins, ton of Forex stuff, ton of stocks. It's analytics for any kind of trading environment you want. They built a beautiful API for it. Eventually there's going to be a UI and GUI aspects to it. And then they're going to go out and they're going to sell this service. It's going to be a professional quality service to not just crypto people. Again, I always look for stuff that's digging for money from real pockets, not just us broke crypto people. But I have really high hopes for it. And again, the dividends, the profit from these monthly subscriptions are going to be distributed back to holders.
Yeah, it's a really great system in that regard, and I would elaborate on Skynet, but I really don't know what it is either. You'd have to have Next turn on here.
So who chose the branding for Skynet? That seems like it might be a little off-putting for some people.
I think basically it is just it does a bunch of data calculation on different markets to figure out the best way to get the price or something like that, and really they're just that kind of person that would name it Skynet.
Awesome. So I guess kind of to wrap up the whole decentralized asset exchanges that we were talking about, at least what coins would you guys like to see on Shapeshift, since they do have a small pool, but there's no way they capture the majority of the top 30 coins, I guess. There's got to be a couple smaller ones that need to be on that list. Do you guys have anything for that?
I can't think of any. Maybe put assets on it. That'd be great.
Yeah. Not so fast. You got any coins that you'd like to see added?
I gotta look at the list, man. I haven't looked at it. Haven't done my homework.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I'm throwing out random questions here. I'm sorry, guys. But I got a couple other topics we can easily talk about. Another unofficial sponsor would be Jumbucks, because Julian Yap is awesome with his new Slack.
He is awesome.
Yeah, we put him on a pedestal, but he really deserves it. He's got the new Slack channel, and it's great. He's got, I think, the most crypto people all in one place, and he was very nice to put on the Twitter channel our Blocktalk feed. So a big shout out to him, and I really hope that we can talk with him on camera sometime soon.
Incidentally, his new coin announcement Twitter bot is faster than any other one, so if you like to chase the newest shitcoin, as I am known to do, then he's your man for following the @JBS and bot.
Yeah.
That's his. He did that probably in like an afternoon, so well done.
Yeah, very good. Gambler, are you in the Jumbucks Slack, or you've been getting in some hot water, I think, with most crypto people in the last week?
The last week, it's been longer than that, but no, I'm not in the Jumbucks Slack. I do like Julian. I talk to him. He's one of the people that I DM and ask questions to when I'm not sure about something. I respect him immensely. I should totally be in his Slack, except I'm in way too damn many already, and it's impossible to follow all this crap, and I don't know. Yeah, I should join now.
Yeah, because I think that was one of the other things I wanted to ask you about. You actually got kicked out of the Arch Slack for, I guess, during that whole downturn event. I guess some of the core guys didn't like that. You were letting the public know that there was some bad stuff happening.
Yeah, tell us the story, Messenger.
I don't know, dude. I'm just trying to keep it real. That's really all it is. I don't know. Arch is what it is. I believe in it. I do. I still have a whole bunch. I know it took a major hit recently. I don't feel like going into the story of what happened. It's not really relevant. But just suffice to say that I tweeted something maybe I shouldn't have tweeted. Maybe it was private information. I don't know. But some people didn't like it, and I got kicked out. But Architects let me back in immediately. He said this is ridiculous. Get him back, and I was back in a couple hours. So it wasn't him.
Yeah, he's got a lot of his minions that kind of help run the show there too, and some of them might be a little more cult-like behavior.
Yeah, I think they don't understand it, and they work sort of. Yeah, they work on their own Arch bags more than they understand like kind of what he's trying to do, and that's probably who saw the small picture of the damage to their accounts with the information any information that might have been let slip versus some useful information for something finding its true value and growing from towards its true value again. So yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. I mean, I've been rebuilding my Arch holdings for the past couple months, and yeah, come down. It's way cheaper for me to do that now. So yes, I'm happy right here. I'm a buyer right here. I'm always a buyer of that stuff until I get back to what I had and then some.
Yeah, I mean, the rise was extraordinary. I think we all knew that. We talked about it 2 months ago on this very show, and I don't. I've been in the space long enough to know that when a coin does that, you sell some, right? We all know that. Everyone here knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like you can't hold everything. I remember talking to you. You're selling the way up, and that was very smart.
Yeah. I mean, I sold the whole way up, and I tweeted about it. I was dead honest about it. I got tons of tweets of me selling. I even caught the peak. That 75, that was me sitting there, among other people. And, you know, I planned on buying it back when it got lower. And I still will when I'm satisfied that we're in an accumulation point. But unfortunately, I don't know what happened. People didn't use their brains. Maybe the herd mentality. I don't know what happened. People didn't sell. They bought more. There were people bragging about buying more at 60,000. You know, okay.
I think it's trying to create psychological support, being like,
Yeah,
I'm buying more here. This is the new floor because I put 0.1 BTC into
Well,
it.
That was a new floor.
that's one thing about Arch is people in that thing have money. They have a lot. And so, no, it wasn't 0.1 BTC. It was 10, 20, 50 in some cases. There were some huge walls. I don't know whose they were. I don't know what's going on, but I just do what I do, and I try to be honest about what I'm doing, and I try to give people advice who do not know any better. And that's what I did in March. So I still like it. I still own it.
So, Alex, you seem a little itchy to say something. I don't know if you got to get going, or if you want to tell us about an awesome altcoin or asset that you buy. Do you actually have anything outside of the next space?
I think I only have NXT. I used to trade a bunch of stuff, but I always lost, and then I just kind of bought NXT and stayed there, and now I just write a bunch of code.
Now you always win and write a bunch of code.
Yeah, it
Nice.
helps. Like NXT is good enough that you can just write code and people will donate to you. It's a much better way.
That's
More
cool. It's
predictable.
its own like altcoin ecosystem in itself.
Yeah, it's a good place to be.
And I'll take this moment to say, because Alex is too nice to plug himself, I'm sure, but you know, he has an asset on the exchange. It's called J, and a portion of his profits on Instadex will be distributed back to J holders as well. So you know, he check out his stuff. He's a great coder, and I like his software, even though I haven't used it. But I will use it one day. I promise. I will.
Yeah, it's about to get a lot better. I'm putting a lot of work into this next version, and it's gonna have some pretty cool features. We got a lot of people working on it.
I didn't actually realize that you had your own asset. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, it's part of the SuperNet assets bundle. There's a lot of different assets around the SuperNet space, and basically it's share of revenues that are generated through different services that integrate the J wallet system.
That's really cool. So yeah, it's kind of like a company of you, and that's like similar to the stock.
Pretty much. It's kind of just whatever I make and help out, and there's a few other people that I work with. We have an Android app out that does J as well. NXT Vault. It's a pretty good application. Mr. E works on that.
I'm getting it right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna market buy it up like 30%. If you see it move, it's all me.
All right.
Awesome news. All right. Well, I guess yeah. I don't know if you guys have any other altcoins that you want to talk about or show or whatnot, but I'd want to get a bit more into Bitcoin because I gotta say this is probably the most boring week ever for Bitcoin. Like seriously, what did it move like $5?
It's starting to stabilize.
It's stagnating.
All right, I'm gonna head out, guys. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Alex, for your time. It was glad to have you here, and I hope we can get more next people on soon because you guys are doing great work.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be around.
All right.
See you, man.
That was great. Thanks, Gambla, and the next people. I've talked to a couple of them to see if they can come on the show. We'll have to have a Saturday show maybe for better timing to get them on. But Next is definitely a cool project that I think is extremely undervalued. Take that as what you will. Freddie, how you doing there, bud? You seem like you're tuning out.
I'm not. I just had to chill out for a bit because I had a busy day and a busy night last night. We had an open house here, but you were talking or about to talk about the week with Bitcoin. It has been a very interesting week, right?
Yeah. So, Freddie, do you need another beer before we go any further?
Actually, you know, I would generally say yes, but I'm here by myself. It's a chill night, and I've this week's been bananas. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty happy with the drink you bought me and a glass of water and just listening to you guys talk about this really cool shit.
Then no beer, no number 2 for you.
Dude, I've just had a crazy week, and I'm just happy to be chilling out with y'all. You know what I mean? It's been just a fucking nutty week. Oh, he's shaking
Fair
his
enough,
head.
man. I know what that can be like.
Ontario, I know you guys love to party and go crazy. But,
no, man, we look at you guys in Van, and we're just like, I wish we could be as cool as those guys and go to their parties. But we're just here, like we sit on the corner of the sidewalk and just kind of
that's
wish
hilarious.
we were in Vancouver.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But back to Bitcoin. Alex, what happened this week?
Let's see. It started, I guess, the morning of June 16th. I actually wrote about it in the Global Bitcoin Slack. I'm like, something's going to happen tomorrow. There's a new moon. And some people always correlate moon activity to trading for some weird reason. Like, people are crazy like that.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the price, if you want to share my screen, Freddie, I got the graph here. The price has skyrocketed up. And we got some pretty high levels above 250 American. And yeah, there's a couple things floating around about this. If you're following the news, like the real world, I guess, it could be about Greece. If you're following the trading world, it could be about OK coin contracts. But I think the combination of the two, it just seems to be perfect timing for this pump. And hopefully we can maintain these levels for more than just a week.
Yeah, I'd say the confluence of 2 good events plus whatever tidal pull you feel the moon has on extending its power to trading markets. I shouldn't laugh, man. Like, there's guys like DJ Thistle on Twitter, man. He does all horoscope-based trading, or I shouldn't say horoscope, astronomy-based trading, and it works for him and his followers. So there is a certain congruency of patterns, I'm going to say, that overlaid on top of a chart framework, there's enough randomness that you can extract some plays from it. And I don't pretend that to be my edge. In fact, it's quite the opposite. But if it works and it's making you money and it's making you have followers like that, go for it. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. And I'll keep sitting over here being impressed and not understanding. But
well,
yeah.
You know what it is. It's not that the new moon itself has any significance on human psychology, in my opinion. It's the fact that people have decided to trade on the new moon and on the full moon and on the alignment of particular planets. You know, I can just picture people in China going, well, you know, I'm going to roll these chicken feet and buy blah 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 coin when the planets are aligned in thus and thus fashion. And so therefore, if you're cued into that and you know, you can make money off of it.
I've actually thought that people looking at and sharing the same technical analysis charts will generate much the same effect. So in a lot of cases, like, you can look at other people's analyses, but if you're not generating your own, and one of the most hilarious things I saw was a trader I knew back in the day. He would look at what moving averages everybody used, and then he would decrease the period of his moving average lines by like a small factor, like 2%, so that he'd know about that stuff sooner, and crosses would happen for him on his periods sooner. So if somebody was using like a 50 and a 200, he'd use 47 and like a 190, and he would try and get the drop on everybody using the sort of same TA. So I have a feeling that, you know, and it worked for him too. It worked for him in Forex. This is 7 years ago, but that's neither here nor there. Like, it seems that as though it can create a kind of self-fulfilling prophecy to an extent, especially in markets as small as cryptocurrency, where a small amount of people trading together will actually do something. You know, we saw that in Geo, everybody talking about it, and suddenly, blam, you can't get bids filled. You know, that's it's a little bit of a you can't forget about the tactics involved in getting fills and running trades properly, and a lot of what you can accomplish has to be accomplished outside of the spotlight. There's spotlight trading and there's outside of the spotlight trading. outside of the spotlight trading is a lot easier to do because very few people will notice what's going on. And in the spotlight trading, well, there's more volume and stuff, but it's kind of all got one mindset and all goes one way. Forget where I was going with that, but anyway.
Well, I think as long as there's two people trading the moon, one can dump and one can pump, and there's going to be activity there.
Yeah, I think also somebody mentioned and pointed out a while ago that rent being due is a major factor sometimes. And, you know what I mean?
forget that some people are a little undercapitalized to be speculating on virtual currencies.
Totally not so fast. I completely agree. Every time I hear somebody say, "Oh, I got bills, I got to cash out," I'm like, "You're playing shit coins and you don't have enough money to pay your bills? Really? Who does that?" I don't know. I find it so weird, but a lot of people do. A lot of people. They shouldn't. They do.
Yeah, gambling is a bit of a problem, but yeah, when you think you're investing but you're actually gambling, that can be a big problem too.
Yeah, it is.
So I guess, yeah, we have 3 potential cases now for what happened to Bitcoin. The moon, the OKCoin contracts, or Greece. So I'd love to hear your opinions, guys, on Greece. Hopefully we don't get too political, but I think it has something to do with it. Kiko Mars, a member of Decentral Van, I guess his mother was in Greece and saw at the airport someone got busted with $500,000 in cash. So, and there's lineups at ATMs. People are getting cash out of the country, so I think you're going to see a little bit of movement in assets like gold, silver, and also Bitcoin.
I sniff around zero hedge, and I have done since the beginning, and so that's where I get all my Grexit information. It's a little dense, unless you're like a quant living and breathing Wall Street, but it's so inevitable, and there's just all this last-minute sort of shoving mattresses under the country to break its fall from a 100-foot cliff. Like, it's just jockeying for position and band-aids in name only, and there is so much political action to it, and staving it off and setting up to absorb loss. It's kind of mind-breaking.
Not so fast. We were talking, Alex Sturkey and I were talking about this on this Slack. It's like the breakup that takes forever to happen. You know what I mean? Like, for whatever reason, like, it's just she won't go away or he won't go away, and they're just it was over 6 months ago, and now it's just like, okay, let's just get it over with. But
yeah. They're trying to stay together for the kids, and the kids have moved out. The kids like have their own relationship problems at this point.
They're trying to stay together for the neighbors. You know what I mean? We can't keep fighting. The neighbors are all just talking about it, shaking their head. It's not looking good.
Yeah, that's at the what will everybody think point at this point.
Jesus. Yeah, I think that whole Grecian thing is crazy. And it seems almost inevitable that now they're on their way out. What did you guys think of the Donald Trump speech? You guys have any?
Yeah, I don't know if these guys have watched that, Freddie. Let's.
Yeah, I didn't lose those IQ points, man.
It was terrible, and it doesn't need to be mentioned any further. It's a lot like some shit coins out there. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was really entertaining. That's all.
No, it's definitely entertaining.
You don't want to know my opinion of Trump.
Oh, great.
Fair enough.
I saw one internet comment that said, the whole time I watched this speech, I was just thinking, wow, Donald Trump has a really punchable face, and I just kind of peed my pants a little, like, because that just sums it up. Like, you can't take that guy seriously. You just can't. He's such a system abuser, and he's I don't know.
Yeah, getting out of, I guess, the Americans and going back to Canada. Yeah, it was great that we had that the Bitcoin license. Like, basically, after Andreas and a lot of these other technicals guys talked to the Canadian Senate for Business, Trade, and Commerce (BTC), they decided to rule no regulation. So I think that's awesome. I think Vancouver and like even Toronto and KW are going to be great hubs for technology now with Bitcoin if the states are still trying to push some regulation. But the other thing they did pass was C51, and it's that new internet spying bill, and I don't think it's preventing terrorism. I'll show something to the camera here. When I flew out, I actually forgot something in my carry-on. It was this pocket knife, and it really didn't do nothing to prevent this from getting on a plane. I know it was against. I didn't even know about it, so clearly I was too good for my own knowledge. But I found that hilarious when I found that in my bag this morning, that I went through a domestic airport and flew cross country with that knife, and no one was the wiser.
And the thing is, I saw the clip in his pocket, and I'm like, oh, you got a little like work knife like I have, and he just takes it out, flicks it in my face. I'm like, you flew with that. Well done. Well done.
I'll just do the noise for the mic here, just to show how intimidating it is. So, yeah, good laughs all around on that one from everyone involved. So, I guess, guys, we're coming up on an hour here, and unless you got anything more you want to say about Greece or Donald Trump, maybe we can get into the Bitcoin price bets, because I know Freddie, he's probably been in a great mood now with the Bitcoin price going up, and now he's got more money in his pocket. He won more than $5 a person off the other guys. So, you're ecstatic, I can tell.
Well, yeah. Well, I play things long more than short, and I felt the momentum on this one coming on weeks ago. I mentioned it in our channel. Like I felt something, you know what I mean? And it took 2 weeks longer than I thought, but you know we've got some momentum now. It's kind of exciting to see. You know, it's really exciting to see actually. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just really good to you know. I think we need to get it to like 300 American. You know, it's got to happen soon. You know.
So yeah, no, I think when I watched Brian's show on Wednesday, he talked about kind of the long-term price a bit, and yeah, he mentioned we're kind of in this massive bottom now where it's just this big W. So we might have another trip down to like 160 or another run to find out where the floor is before we go up. But I think once we break into 300, we're gonna go for a run.
Yeah, I have a feeling there's enough. I can't imagine the amount of human opinion capital, kind of informational capital that's been going on with Bitcoin and all this like startup buzz. Like the average person is just hearing about it more and more and hearing just, okay, X million dollars for this Bitcoin company, X million dollars for this Bitcoin company. That has to come to a head and spur or at least fuel a rise after a triggered event, like the way these things work. And we've been in doldrums for so long, like even other people are sick of hearing about how Bitcoin was the worst investment of 2014 and all this stuff like that. We're halfway through 2015, that's played out, that's old news, people aren't hearing that anymore, and the people who are on the periphery and just know it as a concept are probably ready for some manner of breakthrough psychologically that's going to cause them to cause a little more furor in the next little while. I don't know. I'm bullish because it's felt like a bottom for so long that yeah, I think we might jump off one more test, maybe two, and that's it. Like we've got to pack a little more accrued value into the actual price of Bitcoin.
That's a good point. You know, one of the things that I've said before, and I believe this, is that when it does go up, it's going to go up big. Because last bubble, very few regular humans on the planet had heard of Bitcoin, and it went up to 1,000. There was less Bitcoins then, sure. But next time around, everybody has heard of Bitcoin. Everybody has heard of it. And there's no one buying at the bottom now. There's no regular Joes that are going, oh, I should invest some money in Bitcoin. Everyone is, oh, it's down, it's dead. You know, that's human psychology, right? But the second it starts going up and the media starts putting that news out there, well, maybe I should buy some Bitcoin. Maybe it's 500 now. Maybe I should buy some. Oh, it's 1,000 now. Maybe I should buy some. Oh, it's 3,000. I better buy some. You know, that's just the way the markets work. So I think the next bubble, I don't know when it's going to happen. I still am of the belief that we need one more massive shakeout. You know, I have some technical friends that are looking at the 155, 160 range one more time for that final double bottom. And, you know, if that happens, don't anyone here be afraid. Buy all you can at 155, 160.
Yep.
Buy it and forget about it. But who knows what's going to happen? It could be now. It could
It's
accelerate.
always a good idea to put your joke buys in now. You know what I'm saying? The joke buys, like, it's never going to happen, but when it happens, it'll execute while you're sleeping one day, and you'll be like, holy shit, I got him. That might be a good plan, you know?
All right, so sorry, Gamba.
It's funny you mentioned that. Freddie, I think your name is, because back when Gox crashed, or when Gox got, you know, that Gox news came out last year, I think there were some buys at around the 100 range on Finex that hit because their trading engine had a problem and it just cascaded with all the margin calls. From what I remember, I think there's a huge spike. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But yeah, those dream buy, yeah, it spiked down to 100 on February 11th, February 9th. So those dream buys, yeah, they can actually hit sometimes.
We call those, in Vancouver, we call those joke orders. And
Joke orders.
yeah, we call them joke orders. You know, it's never going to happen, so it's hilarious, but then it happens one day and you wake up and you're like, you know
The thing is, man, like you can look at those. You can look at the relative margin shorts on any particular market, and if there are margin calls, like you can actually figure out the multiplier at how far those calls are gonna, like margin calls would drive the book down or up depending on margin calls. Like there's a margin trading arbitrage strategy out there, and it's not too hard to calculate. Like you probably bought that shit, but it's hard to do, and it may never go off. But yeah, set them low if you have spare USD in a USD Bitcoin account. You know what harm can it do if it never gets there? It was nice to dream, and if it does, you're exactly right. The joke went off, and you got the punchline in your pocket.
All right, so Freddie, since you won last week, what do you think you should be buying Bitcoin at next Friday?
oh, Jesus. It's like, what's it at right now, Alex? American?
243 and 86 cents.
Oh, Jesus.
I got the chart up here if you want to share my screen while we kind of discuss price.
I tried to share it before. I couldn't get anything out of it.
You know what? Yeah, I dropped out again. Fuck.
Dude, it's all good.
For whatever reason, I'm the only one dropping out.
No, it's all good. You know, because you have 3 signals happening out of one pipe.
Why is mine stronger though? He's on a better computer than either of these two.
I don't know. So I'm gonna say two. Fuck, do we have a correction this week coming on? I'm gonna say 2. I'm gonna stick with my 240.
Yeah, 240 for Freddie. All right. Gambler, I'm gonna throw you out next. How are you feeling? Bullish or bearish?
Short term, next 2 days, bearish. I'm looking for buys in the 236 range. After that, moon, 5,000, man. No, I don't know. That's where I'm looking about.
Oh, I love it. That's great. So you want to? This is going to be next week, Friday. We're not going to have a show, but it's going to be.
I have to name a price, huh? Okay, so next week, Friday, I'm going to say. I'm going to say 252 again.
252.
Wow.
U.S. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. So not so fast. What are you thinking?
You scooped me a little bit, Gambler, because I was gonna say 251. I don't know. Let's do the stagnation play and assume that any pullback below 240 is gonna come right back to where it is now. So I'll do 243.80. You said it was?
Yeah.
Okay. That's my
243.80. I'm
ultra conservative.
I'm gonna round that to 244.
Fair enough.
All right. And I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to be the bear of the room, guys, because like my prediction is based off of OKCoin and the contract settlements, which is next week on the 26th. So I think we're gonna see maybe a little bit of a spike before then again. get us up to like 270, and then I think we're going to crash either the day of settlements and then maybe even after settlements too. So I'm going to go low and say like 230.
That's a good range for the bet.
Yeah, so we got $22 range here, guys, and I'll tweet out everything. And yeah, I'm still working on trying to get something more official here, but right now you just gotta trust me. And I think I'm trustworthy enough. Right?
Oh yeah.
I flew all the way out here just to see you, so you obviously gotta say yeah. Gambler, I'm coming to your house next.
That's pretty funny.
He's muted.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's probably a great way to wrap the show up. We're almost exactly at an hour here, so this is probably our textbook show here, guys.
Well done.
Proud of it. So yeah, I'm gonna order some pizza and go hang out with my friends. Anyways, it's been a pleasure seeing you guys, and Freddie, I'm glad we could do this again.
It was great. It's been a crazy week, and Alex, you got a wedding you got to get to, I think, this weekend, right?
Next weekend, yeah, my brother's getting married, so unfortunately we won't have a show, but hopefully by then we'll have this little mining tour figured out, and maybe I can talk to one of the other guys to do another spotlight too, because I think Julian, we might try and do a little one-on-one show. It'd be kind of cool to do that.
That would be cool.
So I'll hold him to it. Oh man, Bitcoin is dumping right now, guys. It's already at 240.
Wow. You're gonna win.
Oh, I spoiled the surprise. Gambler, I love you, dude. Thanks for coming out.
Good time as always.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
And yeah, we'll have to talk. Maybe we can get our Fundamental Fridays going here with Blocktalk, and maybe Coinigy and Brian on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, and do a Technical Tuesday. That'd be great.
That sounds super cool. Technical Tuesdays, eh?
Yeah.
And Fundamental Fridays. I like it a lot.
That's actually super cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Because he looks at graphs regardless of what they are. Like he's biased to no coin.
Yeah.
Like
All right,
he was talking about Euro and all these crazy ones. Anyways, watch his show because it's 2 hours, but skip through it a bit. You'll like it. And yeah, it's good times, and I'm glad what the coinage you guys are doing. More altcoin news is always good.
Absolutely.
All right, Freddie. So I think we can cut this broadcast off. Maybe we'll do a little after hours talk or something. But
okay. Well, hey everybody, thanks for watching again, and Central Vancouver, Quadrica, and of course our lovely co-host Alex Sturck. All the best. Talk to you guys later. Gambler, good night, sir. Talk to you guys later.
Good night, man.
Okay. Bye bye.